We just had a question from the chat. Three Rusty Nails. Hey, how you doing? Nice to have you here. Did I say that there's no absolute truth? No, that's not what I was talking about. I was talking about how, morally speaking, I don't think there's necessarily an absolute or universal rule set. I do believe in objective morality. I think morality is more complex than a simple subjective versus objective approach. I think there are definitely subjective elements to morality and relative elements. But I do think that we can make objective statements against what the purpose of morality is. Now, some people might argue that the purpose of morality is wholly subjective. I think looking at a number of different moral theories, you can see that there's generally this sort of flourishing and well-being sort of thing in there. So I think everyone that's thinking about morality is thinking along the same lines. So if the intuition going along the moral particularism route is it's about well-being and collaborative societies and flourishing as well, even under moral particularism, I think you could still technically make an objective statement. It's just saying that there is no truth there to be had. And I think that is the thing that is, difficult. Hello, white man. Thank you for saying that we're gay. I wish I was. I'm just not fabulous enough.
Sexualism for the win, baby.
But yeah, sorry, distracted there.
Yeah.
So yeah, in regards to saying there's no absolute truth, I mean, I'm speaking about morality, and maybe there will be a point where we do find an absolute truth to a couple of things, but I don't think there are necessarily absolute or universal moral truths. I think we can get to objective standards. I think that eventually, when we know enough, we might have correct objective standards, but I don't think that we will have an absolute rule set. It's one of the reasons that I struggle with deontology, where it's like stealing is wrong. That's it. Boom. And it's sort of with a lot of consequentialist moral theories, they're open to a number of different errors. By errors, I mean you could do something that is intuitively immoral, but under consequentialism, the result is good, so therefore it's considered moral. But
like we were talking about last week with the whole torturing for terrorists and saving millions of people.
Yeah.
Exactly. Intrigued Feline, an objective statement that holds no truth. Now, I'm not saying that there's no truth. I'm saying it's not an absolute truth. So if we're to use it, so if we compare something against flourishing and we're to compare a particular set of actions against whether it helps the human race flourish, we can say that this is true in this circumstance. But in another circumstance, the same action might not help us flourish. So therefore, it's not an absolute truth. It's not a universal truth. It's just a truth for this particular circumstance.